Hi guys, welcome to Strength Reversed. My name is Amy. Thank you for joining me for what I feel like is the 50th take of this video. My camera keeps stopping, and then one time it got too rambly, but I'm doing it this time. So I saw this video, it's a fun one. It was on Sarah at Sunset Bough Tarot's channel, and she was doing a VR to Julie at Peekaboorose. It's called Deck Delights and Deterrents, where you say the kinds of things that delight you in a tarot deck and what might deter you from either purchasing the deck or keeping it around. I'm not sure how I missed this on Julie's channel. It probably came out in my back to school haze, and so, I didn't really get to do anything except school stuff for a while. I'm trying to be festive. This is my Dollar Tree wall hanging, and it's a spooky cemetery, but of course there's a glare. But anyway, happy Halloween. I'm trying something new. I've changed corners of the room, so we'll see. So I'm going to go through, and I went through several topics and decided what I like and don't like about each topic. And I love videos like this because I think it's fascinating how everyone just has their own taste. Okay, so the first thing is the cards themselves. And, I'm not really picky. I'm picky in that I don't add many cards to my collection. If I'm going to purchase a deck, I've probably sat with it for a long time, and I don't purchase a deck unless I know it's going to go into pretty regular use. So if it's just going to be a bench warmer, I'm probably not going to purchase. But I'm surprisingly unpicky about things that other people might be picky about, like cardstock. I'm not a cardstock snob. I couldn't tell you if this is GS, whatever, I don't know. Now, I do have one deck that's super cheap cardstock, and that is because it's a super cheap deck that I got from the Halloween store a couple of years ago. It is a Rider-Waite knockoff. I absolutely adore this deck. It is my purse deck. It's in a little bag in my purse, and it's so beat up it looks like I've had it for 50 years, but I think that's part of its charm. But if I spend, it was like $7. If I spend $50 on a deck, I would like for it to last. But as far as the weight of the card, I don't know. The finish, I used to really love glossy cards, but I love the feel of rose petal finish. I know it's kind of sticky and hard to shuffle with, but whatever. I do overhand shuffle anyway. Now, I like cards that are large. I like tarot deck sized or larger. Probably the Mott Tarot is my largest deck, and I just have to kind of shuffle it by moving the cards around. But I don't mind that because to me it feels special, and it's one of the things that puts me in a tarot place, whereas a playing card size deck just doesn't feel special. It doesn't get me psyched up to do a reading. I would never purchase the mini version of a deck. That's just me. Let's see. Extras. Now, borders I usually don't mind unless they're very oversized, and then I do mind. So I have, this is the Sacred Circle Tarot, and the borders are elemental, and I appreciate that, but the images are so beautiful, I wish the image took most of the card. Because when you have a card like this, that goes border to border, that's just so much more powerful, I think, than something contained in gigantic borders. The Mystic Dreamer Tarot, which hit a lot of my deterrence lists, sorry Mystic Dreamer, is like that. I don't know why you need a border on the back, but the image is so tiny, I need it to be more. I just want more from this deck, and you have this gigantic nameplate, and yeah. I don't like having extra languages on a deck, and I really, really hate keywords. Now, this is one of my favorite decks, and it does have keywords. So we have the King of Wands, and the keyword is dedication, which just throws me for a loop. I don't want to start thinking about dedication. I want to let myself be intuitive, and if I see a keyword like this, I usually cover it with my finger, because when I see the keyword, my mind starts trying to fit that word into the meaning, and I don't want it to fit in. Don't tell me what to do. The Sacred Circle has a keyword on every single card. Like the Page of Discs is health. Yeah, it does nothing for me. Absolutely nothing. Now, I love decks that have bright, bold colors that are in your face, that are very saturated and jewel toned and really eye-catching. So I probably would not purchase a deck that has pastel colors, because I feel like the colors are washed out, and for me the meaning gets washed out. Now, I've shown this card before. This is from, it's not a tarot deck, but I do work with Hecate, and I have this card sitting on a table in my room here, and I don't like the coloring at all. I feel like it's not as vibrant as it needs to be. I wish it was just more in your face. Now, one thing I am picky about are tarot backs. I don't know if the back would deter me from buying a deck if I really loved other things about the deck, the artwork and whatnot. I think backs should be, first of all, reversible, but they should be simple. They should be aesthetically pleasing. They should not be complicated. They should go well with the theme of the deck or the aesthetic of the deck. Here's a Mystical Cats tarot. It's simple, it's reversible, it's not too much, it goes with the theme, and you can tell it's the back of the deck. Okay. The Handle Tarot, now I love this card back because eyes have important symbolism for me. But it's not reversible, and I'm not sure what an eyeball has to do with the rest of the deck. The Titanic Tarot is simple and reversible, and it has a nautical theme, and it doesn't overpower. And then you have, see, Sacred Circle. It's like, I don't like knowing that a card's reversed. Even just a card like this, where it's just shapes and colors, I like, but I just don't like reversible backs. Robin Wood, it's a Celtic-y deck. The color is pretty. It's a pretty design, and it's reversible. So it goes with the aesthetic. The Mott Tarot, unfortunately, is not reversible. Worst back ever of all time. And then something like this from Tarot of a Moon Garden. I guess it's pretty and it is reversible, but it's so complicated. It's like, is it the front? Is it the back? I need to know that it's for sure the back. That's just a pet peeve of mine. That to me is way more important than borders or anything like that. Now, the art and imagery, I do like all kinds of styles. I don't care if it's collage or illustration or photography or computer kind of stuff. That to me is not as important as how these images make me feel. I like the images to be beautiful. I like them to be dramatic. I like them to be colorful. I like darker decks that have a twist. So maybe they have some tongue-in-cheek humor. I don't generally get into decks that are dark. Although I really do like the Murder of Crows tarot that came out. It is dark, and it is black and white, which I usually don't like black and white decks, but I like the limited edition that has the splashes of red. I really like that. That is just dramatic and really kind of evokes emotion in me. So I'm thinking about that deck. You know, it'll rattle around back there for a while before I actually decide to make a purchase or not. I think Sarah called it quirky. It has to have something unique. Something that's a little bit different, but not over the top. Just something that I can laugh at or say, ooh, that's really pretty or that's really dramatic. I do like decks that have distinct cards. Some decks, you go through them. The Mystic Dreamer is one of those where you go through and it's like all of the cards sort of feel and look the same. And the people in them are the same. And I don't mean it in a diversity sort of way. I don't really... that's not what I'm talking about. I like the people to all be very strong people, and I like them to have distinct looks from other cards. This could be the same exact person in every card. It's just some kind of plain looking person, and it's very small, so you can't really tell their features, and I don't like that. I want expressions, I want personality to come through in the cards. I do like certain time periods, like anything Victorian or Edwardian is going to speak to me. This deck, a lot of people say is very dark, but again, it has that tongue-in-cheek, wands are umbrellas, and swords are cutlery. And so you have like butter knives and you have teacups, and I love Victorian clothes and shoes and things like that. So I love that. The Titanic Tarot. I'm usually not a pip deck person, but this is so pretty. And I do love this time period, and I love all of the history that goes along with this deck, and how the people were matched to the cards. So, and the colors are just absolutely just stunning. That indigo color, I just love it. So a deck like that would definitely call to me. It's drama. Some things that would deter me. I don't care for all female decks, and to me there's an energy missing there. I also do not care for decks that call themselves feminist, and what they really mean is that feminist as in they erase men. I don't like that. So I do like all kinds of energies to come through in the deck, and not just feminine energy. I don't like it when people look oversexed or 20 years old with big boobs and romance novel, and they're all thin, and you know, I think anyone can paint. It does not offend me if someone creates a deck of, you know, people that look like they want it to look. Maybe the people look like them, or maybe, you know, maybe they like the look of a 20-year-old blonde with big boobs and a skinny waist. You know, that's fine. It's just not gonna speak to me, okay? I like it when people look a little interesting, when the people in the deck look like they've lived life. I don't like it when the people in the deck look like they're on the cover of a romance novel, or the men look like, you know, Fabio with like the long hair. No. I mean, if the guy looks like Nikki Sixx with long hair, okay, then we're talking. But the wispy, like, wind blowing and mouth agape, I don't know. You gotta look like you're not a complete moron if you're in a tarot deck, okay? That's all I have to say. I don't like a lot of cutesy kind of decks or comic booky decks. I know the Game of Thrones deck was all the rage, and I don't like that style though, where it's a little bit comic book, that style of illustration. I like it to be a little more, I don't even know, because, you know, I don't mind an illustrated deck, certainly most of them are, but in, you know, to me this isn't comic book. This is the Robin Wood deck. I wouldn't say realistic, but I don't know. That deck, I know that people liked the Game of Thrones. I only got into it because Michael was watching it, and he watched the show because he had read the novels long before the show came out. So I really had no opinion about the ending. I just didn't care enough. Those epic sagas where everyone is like dirty and looks like they have bad breath and need to take a shower, I'm not into that genre. Let's see. I don't like decks that are oversimplified. I know there are some decks that just have, I think it's the Wild Unknown, which I know was all the rage, and it has the black, mostly black and white drawings. To me, that deck, it was very pretty, but it was almost too simple. And I'm not sure about the deck that's out that people like that is all purple and gold. To me, that deck is like, I don't get it. I don't vibe with it at all. I know a lot of people like it though. Animal decks, I do have a couple because my son got me a couple of cat decks, and this is the Mystical Cats Tarot. Now, I like this deck. I really ended up liking it because it's cats doing cat things. And so the energy of the card is depicted through a cat doing something a cat would do. It's not a cat being a person. And I also, some decks have just more, I guess, animal magic kind of things. Like the Wildwood Tarot, you might pick the Three of Swords and it's a crow or something like that. I don't think it is, but that doesn't speak to me very much either. But I really like the Mystic Cats Tarot. So stinking cute. Let's see. I think that's it. I guess that's it. Okay. I know I'll think of 10 more things. So I'm picky, but I'm not picky. I'm picky about the people in the decks, but I'm not picky about... Okay, I'm picky. I'm just picky. Let's just call it what it is. Anyway, I really like seeing other people's points of view, so drop me a line in the comments and tell me if you agree or disagree and what you think is a delight or a deterrent in a tarot deck. And I will see you next time for something more spooky. Bye.